It's been a long time since I can say this, but there is a new romantic comedy in theaters that is very much worth checking out, and it is starring Billy Eichner from Billy on the Street, and it is called Bros. And I had a blast with this movie, and I can't wait to talk about it here on the Beniverse. So, Bros, this is a film that is starring and written by Billy Eichner. This film is produced by Judd Apatow, who in typical Apatow fashion is giving his name and producing credits to uplift a comedic voice who will probably speak for a generation and has a bunch of fans, but maybe isn't A-list quite yet. Whether that's Trainwreck with Amy Schumer, whether that's 40-Year-Old Virgin with Steve Carell, whether that's Jason Segel in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, whether that's Seth Rogen in Knocked Up, or Pete Davidson in The King of Staten Island. He has done this time and time again, and this time he has taken Billy Eichner and making him a comedic star in his own leading project that is heavily based, maybe not directly on Billy Eichner's life, but the experiences of being a gay single man in New York. This is a film about two men with commitment problems who attempt to form a relationship. This film stars Billy Eichner and Luke McFarlane, and it is directed by Nicholas Stoller, a director who really focuses on relationships. This is a guy who's directed films like Neighbors, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and 5 Year Engagement. He is really concerned with how people interact while in a relationship and how that develops and the hardships that go throughout that, while also keeping it quite comedic. And that is my biggest praise of this movie. This movie's really funny. Often you get romantic comedies that I think have humor in them because they have stars that are comedic, but they're never actually like truly funny. No, Bros is really funny. The first 25 minutes, there is like 10 jokes that come at you, and they come at you hard. There is so much laughs to be had. Billy Eichner is doing his comedy. This is a guy who originated with the show Billy on the Street, where he's literally going around New York and yelling at people and asking them questions on the fly. This is a guy who's abrasive. If you don't like that comedy style, if you don't like the Billy Eichner comedy style, you might find this film obtrusive. You might find this film hard to watch. I like Billy on the Street. I like Billy Eichner. I like when he appears in stuff like Parks and Recreation, and I had a blast with him. I think he's truly great in the lead, and I think his writing is sharp as ever in this. Again, there are so many jokes, especially in his opening, like kind of monologue, that are great, but he also showcases a dramatic side to him that I was not aware that he had, and he really pulls it off. And when the film needs him to go a little bit more dramatic, he pulls it off in style. Luke McFarlane is also in this film as Aaron, who is the love interest of Billy Eichner's character, Bobby. He, too, is great in this film. He is a guy that has been working on the Hallmark Channel, and they have fun with that in this film. This is a guy that has been known for his kind of schlocky romantic dramas, comedies on the Hallmark Channel. And he's a pretty boy, and that's what they reference in this movie. He is truly the pretty boy, but he's a bro. He's a gym guy. He's a gym rat, all that, whatever you want to say about him. And he's kind of the polar opposite of Billy Eichner's character, but they have a really good chemistry. It's the opposites attract trope. And it really works, and they have really meaningful scenes. And in particular, Luke McFarlane has to carry a lot of the emotional drama in this character because he's much more reserved compared to Eichner. He doesn't get to have as much laugh out loud moments as Eichner's character gets to. So he has to carry a lot of the brunt of this film, of just keeping the romantic aspect of this movie afloat, and he does so in spades. I think both of them have a great chemistry together, and I think it works really well. Like I said, as does all the comedy. You get a bunch of stars coming in here, whether it's Jim Rash from Community, whether it's Boeing Yang from SNL, whether it's characters from Will and Grace, other gay icons, whether it's a few fun cameos that happen throughout. Everyone comes in with their A game. They are treating this material with the utmost respect, and it is truly a great romantic comedy that never strays from the romantic comedy genre. This is like When Harry Met Sally. This is like I've Got Mail, which they directly reference in this film. This is like all those great, iconic romantic comedies. It never tries to strive away from that. It understands that this is the formula that this film exists in. They are basically addressing the fact that this is a film that has been made hundreds of times, but it's never been told through our lens, through our stories, through our lives. And that's what this film is in essence. It is a romantic comedy about two gay guys in New York. It's really good. I can't recommend this film enough. This film has had maybe some negative reception despite having a really positive reception out of the film festivals earlier in September, because this film did not do great at the box office and Billy Eichner equated that to there is a lot of homophobic people in America. Let me just say that's a true statement. If you are not accepting of the fact that this movie struggled because there is a certain amount of American audiences who would not go to this film because of the subject matter, you're ignorant. You're not thinking clear enough. That's clearly had an impact on the box office. I'm not saying that was the only case that hurt this film, but it definitely played a part in it. There were some other factors, whether a romantic comedy can still play in theaters or if that's really something that just exists to be streamed. I will say, though, Marry Me, which came out with Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson, which came out earlier this year, seemingly did fine. And no one was talking about the fact, well, can romantic comedies exist in theaters? Apparently they can. And for this film, this one struggled because, again, and I'm going to say it again, it's because it has gay leads. It really did struggle because of that. I 100% believe that. I think there is a huge section of the American audience who will not accept this film, who will not watch this film. Go watch this film. It's really good. It's a huge recommendation for me. I had a blast with this film. It has a lot of laugh lines. I cried throughout certain sections of it. Check out this movie. I think you're going to really like it. And I think to 10 to 20 years, this film is going to have a really positive reception, is going to be considered along the pantheon of other romantic comedies, whether that's Forgetting Sarah Marshall, whether that is Harry Met Sally, whether that's any of those other classic comedies. I think this is going to be the definition of a classic comedy for the 21st century, and it might be the best one we've had in, quite honestly, a long time. I think you're going to enjoy the heck out of it like I did. 3.5 out of 4 stars for Bros. Anyway, that's my review of Bros. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to the Beniverse here and check out my other movie reviews coming out. It's Halloween season, so I have a lot more horror reviews coming out soon, as well as the fact that we are creeping slowly into Oscar season, and I'm starting to see some of these films, and I'll be reviewing them as we go along the next few weeks. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Ben Friedman. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.